SquareSpace is a company that provides websites, templates, all the tools for a small business to go online and really present a really nice impression on future customers, current customers, prospects, partners, and so forth. It's a really neat company that really makes it easy for entrepreneurs to put their business online, to book meetings, appointments, to get people to buy stuff off their website, all kinds of things that they want to do online. Needless to say, that's really important for every business to have an online presence to present who they are and to give a really good impression. Squarespace makes it easy for any small business to do so. They do it so that any novice, computer novice can accomplish that. And I think that's part of their success, is making it really easy, and their content looks really nice. I think Squarespace websites look really elegant, really professional. It looks like somebody really spent a lot of time doing so. The company has been growing over the last 4 years. The company's grown really well. It is a smaller company. They have a little over $1 billion of revenue, and their market cap is a little over $5 billion. So it's a small cap stock. It's not as big as the behemoth Amazon or Shopify. Those two do quite a bit of revenue in the marketplace. Squarespace has a niche. They have a niche where they're not exactly an e-commerce engine like a Shopify or an Amazon. They're more of that business that's going to do lower volumes, but really want to have a better brand and a better impression. Maybe they are a small business doing business in a community. That's where the Squarespace niche really operates. Overall, the company is a good one. The stock is up 41% if you look at the low point over the last 52 weeks and up to where the stock is trading today. It's had a lot of volatility. I like volatility because it at times lowers the stock price on really high quality businesses that I could buy into at a really good price. I'm currently not a stockholder of Squarespace. I wanted to go through, analyze the company and see if it's a good time to buy or if I should be holding off. Over the past, I've been apprehensive to buy more small businesses. I have several stocks that are small companies. This one's one more. And small businesses, small companies, small stocks haven't performed as well as the S&P. And that's one thing that happened in 2023 and is happening again in 2024. Not quite sure why, but over the long haul, small companies could really pay off. You can find a small business that keeps growing and that stock price really keeps rising because the value of the company is really high. Is Squarespace potentially one of those, high growth companies? Potentially. They also are potentially a takeover target. They are small enough to acquire. They're growing. They generate great free cash flow, and they could be an acquisition target. I'm going to go through and analyze the fundamentals of the company. Also, I created a value for the company based on my model that uses free cash flows as well as earnings per share. I'll be sharing that with you. Also, share with you my plans with the stock. Am I going to buy shares in this company? Am I going to hold off? And so forth. Let's get into Squarespace. Over the last year, Squarespace is up 14.65%. But one thing that I like in stocks is volatility. And volatility is my friend because it makes prices go up and it makes prices go down. And if I see that there's a company that's really valuable, performing great, you can pick up a stock in its low points. And as you can see, Squarespace actually from the low point over the last 52 weeks is up 42%. So it really provided investors great entry points where you could buy the stock at a really good discount and then watch that stock price go up. The company has a $5.1 billion market cap. Its revenue is about $1 billion. So you're paying 5 times revenue. This is a growing company, so I think that's reasonable. The company trailing 12 months is losing a little money, but it's expected they're going to make money in 2024. They have a forward PE of 90, which is quite high. A lot of analysts cover this particular stock, and in general, they have a buy rating. They have a price target of $38 per share, and the stock is trading at 37. So I think it's fairly priced based on what analysts are saying. Squarespace has been growing their revenue quite nicely. If you look at 2023, they grew their revenue by 16.77% compared to 2022. And you can see that each year the company is growing. Very good sign that it's a healthy business, adding more customers, adding more services. The balance sheet looks good for Squarespace. To begin with, their debt is well below 3 times EBITDA, which is a very good sign. And the reason for it is they have a fair amount of cash and they don't have a lot of debt. So those are good signs for a business. If a business doesn't have a lot of debt, they're probably going to stay in business for a long time. Debt is somewhat of a very risky endeavor. Sometimes businesses use debt to grow, but that debt becomes a huge liability and will drive a business bankrupt if it gets out of control. The company's been growing the cash from operations really well, which is very good to see. I value companies based on free cash flow. So that is going to really drive up the value of this company. So you can see why the share price is really going up. If they generate a lot of cash, they become more valuable. Multiple analysts cover the stock, and the high price target on the stock is $45 a share. The average is $38 a share, and the low is $32 a share. One concern I have is that their earnings per share is really low. You look at the free cash flow they generate, it's really good, but their earnings per share is really low, which is a little bit of a surprise. In 2024, it's expected that they're going to earn 39 cents per share. In 25, 60 cents per share, and then 81 cents per share. This stock, if you look at the yield of earnings per share, that's really low. So that is one concern I have with SquareSpace. I valued the company using my methodology, which is looking at free cash flows and discounting the forecast I have for free cash flows to today's value using a net present value calculation and a discount rate of 9%. And I get a combined value of the company once I look at earnings per share as well. Of the stock is being sold at a premium of 11%. The stock's being sold at a slight premium. Understandably, I think investors have found this company and they've really driven up the price. But in this case here, it is a small business. Small businesses tend to be riskier. And if it's a really well-established, respected company, paying a fair price is fine. But paying a premium is a little risky on a small business like this. Some of the factors I'll point out is the earnings per share is really low, as mentioned. And I think that's what drives down my valuation. The cash flow is really good, which is a really positive value factor for Squarespace. And I'm growing those free cash flows quite aggressively because the company has established a really good growth trajectory of its free cash flows. Let's see how things sort out. But that is my valuation that I use to make my decisions on whether I'm going to buy a stock, hold it, or sell a stock. So should I buy Squarespace stock? Well, I go through three main areas to make that decision. First, I really want to look at the company. Do I like the business? Do I think the business has advantages? Are they profitable? Does it generate free cash? Do I like the management team? Overall, do I want to be a part owner in that business? And the answer is yes. I like Squarespace. I like the industry they're in. I like the management team. I think they do really well to serve the customers they have. So all those things are a positive for the company. The balance sheet. I want a clean balance sheet that doesn't have a lot of problems and doesn't have a lot of debt. And in the case of Squarespace, I could say that qualifies. The balance sheet's in good health, good cash balance, low debt. Company produces a lot of free cash. So I'm very comfortable with their balance sheet. Next is I want a discount on the stock. And unfortunately, Squarespace doesn't offer a discount at this time. The stock has been run up to a really good price level. Congratulations to all investors of Squarespace. You did the right thing and bought an excellent little company. But for me, without a discount, I'm not going to be a buyer of Squarespace. I'm going to sit back, and I showed volatility in the stock, how the stock price goes up and down. And I'm willing to bet that this stock, especially if we have a pullback in the market in 2024, will be priced lower, and I might have a better entry point to buy into Squarespace in the future. Squarespace is a really good business, and it's a really good stock, a really good small cap stock. I could see why the stock is up 42% and understand why investors really like the company. For me, I'm going to stay away, but I'm going to continue to track this small business and see if there's a better entry point in the future, or if the fundamentals changed and the company is just more valuable for other reasons. We'll see how things play out. I hope you found my video interesting, and I really appreciate you watching.